you probably didn't know this. Do you know I have 9 dogs?
I saw there was a pug collection going on.
Yeah.
I believe, but I did not know you were up to 9.
I told him he's like a lesbian.
I've said it many times. I am a lesbian.
It's the Scott and Alley Not For Air podcast. The rules are gone. The shirt is untucked. Here's Scott and Alley.
Hey, it's the Scott and Alley Not For Air podcast. I'm Scott.
Hello, I'm Allie.
Who the hell's that?
Who is this guy?
Quinn's back! Yes!
So I want you to know, Quinn, that you have been requested to come back many times.
Yeah.
And this is something that listeners kept texting. They would just text and say, how is he? What's going on? Can we get a Quinn update? So that's when we said, let's get him on the podcast and let's get Quinn back because the people have spoken.
I love the people.
I know,
So
right?
if you don't mind, Quinn, because we got a lot to go with you. I mean, it's been over a year since you've been on this podcast. At least
Probably almost close to 3 years.
Oh,
I would say.
okay, close.
Yeah.
Wait, when did you leave us?
I've been at my new job this is my 3rd year there, so probably 2 years.
Okay,
How
so
did that happen?
It's been about 2 years since you've been on the
It's been a long
podcast.
I feel like you just left. No, I knew it had been over a year because I did run into Quinn. It's been almost a year. I ran into you at the end of the Mrs. Roper bar crawl, and we were at the Radisson, and I definitely was a little tipsy for sure.
Did she give you a lot of hugs? Was it a lot of...
I got hugs.
Oh my God!
Well, it's funny because I was there to shoot for a video, and I needed the bar, and I walk in, and the
So
bar,
did Allie.
The bar is full of. I thought it was a Golden Girls reunion.
Oh, it could have been.
So I was like, "Oh, this is not the background we need. I guess we're gonna take this outside."
And then there's these orange hair ladies everywhere.
that's
my
weird.
Which
great.
there's one in the background of the video that ended up getting posted. So
What was
that's
the video
lovely.
for?
it was for a video I did. That was a blog turned into a video called One Sweet Trip, which is down right now because some of the businesses in it aren't around.
Okay.
But we were basically showing off like places where you can get a sweet treat in the Market Street area.
Oh wait, did you say a sweet tray?
A sweet treat.
I knew Quinn would know.
Switch
Oh, I
it.
know. I'm just repeating this.
Allie laid
I'm
that
really
one
what
out.
you're talking about.
She laid that one out on the show that this guy says we should stop saying sweet treat and call it a
Sweet tray.
switch.
sweat tray?
Yeah.
Switch tray.
Sweat tray.
Switch
What are we,
tray.
the French, just abandoning letters?
I
right?
think he's Dutch or something because his accent he has a very thick accent which kind of sounds like your mom's.
All right, let's go right into it. How's Femka?
She's good. She's good.
Is
They're
she-
actually just going to visit my brother in San Francisco.
They're always vacationing.
Yeah,
They're retired.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay,
That's right.
we have updates aplenty, and then Scott has a bombshell of an announcement.
Well, yeah, let me ask you this. Do you want that earlier, or do we want to have fun with Quinn, and then at the very end I'll tell you what it is? I'm leaning that way if you are.
Okay, let's do that. All right, let's get the updates then. So let's go with your parents because
Sure.
we talked about your parents a lot on the show and the podcast.
After I left, even?
Femka and Jan, right?
Yes.
All right.
I would say
I don't
they-
remember anybody, but I remember them.
right? I think they came up maybe a couple times since you left. But,
Okay.
all right, your parents were living in Florida?
Still are.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. And everything is still kosher with them?
All good.
Okay, good. And your brother's still living in California?
He's working for Apple.
Jeez.
Wow.
That's right.
Wow.
We got them discounts.
Yeah. Oh,
Do you really
But
get
if
free-
Apple, if you're listening,
There are no
I hope
discounts.
that's okay.
All right, so let's get the inside view here. Apple discounts if you work for Apple. If but if Prime Days are going on, you could probably get a iPad, $250. Like, I mean, are these deeper discounts? Like super deep?
Yeah, this is like he's not working at the Apple store. He's working like for Apple.
Yeah,
not
corporate.
Apple.
Like
Yeah,
you know, in the
he's
Steve
the
Jobs
big donut.
the Steve Jobs building,
That's
if you
right.
will. Yes.
Okay, the other
Do you
question.
notice how he skirted answering my question of do you really get a bigger
I
discount?
think you
than
do
that?
because Apple is you're not getting the 50% off on the Apple devices. I don't think
Never.
unless you're trading in like last week's model.
Every model you've had, yes.
Have you actually gotten a free product, though?
I haven't.
Oh.
I don't know about my brother. My brother's probably for work reasons. I bet.
Yes,
yeah, of
yes.
course.
I know he got
yes.
to test out the mask, the gear, the headgear. What are they called?
VR?
The VR. Yeah, the weird VR thing that they
Oh,
have.
Apple has one?
The Apple Vision one. Yeah.
Ooh.
And he was showing it to me, and you can like see what he sees through FaceTime, and it's fascinating. He's like, "I'm gonna put you on this wall," and then he walks away, and then like you turn around, and you can see like a square like through the wall, but you don't see me until you like peek through the door. It's very, very fascinating.
Wow.
I wonder if your brother was part of the, did you hear about on FaceTime, if there's nudity, they're going to pause it? Did your brother have anything to do with that? Is what I want to know.
No. He's not. That's not his department, and
Okay.
I didn't even know about that.
Yeah,
Well,
They were
that's
trying to hide it from me.
The new update. The new update. There will be no more in the moment D-pics allowed.
Oh.
It'll actually it pauses and alerts you, doesn't it?
I don't know if it alerts you or not.
No, and Allie's over there sitting there
D-pic.
going, "Jeez, come on, unpause."
Just send me a snap, okay?
Jeez.
Okay, so that
Go
was
old school.
That was the one thing. The other thing that gets asked frequently, and actually I just talked about you yesterday, Quinn. Just yesterday, Scott and I were doing an event at Corning Museum of Glass. And we were with a NASCAR driver. Well, while the NASCAR driver was there was a gentleman who was shooting video. And I was like, I think I know this guy. So I walked up to him and I said, "Excuse me, is Quinn your second shooter?" And he goes, "Yes, he is." So your friend Tom, I ran into.
Tom.
Yes, yeah, from
Yeah.
Ando Prod. I ran into him yesterday. And even he was talking about, he goes, "I know he's not on your show." Or no, he goes, "Is he still on your show?" So I said, "No, not on the show anymore. People want to know where you are and what you're doing with your career."
Gotcha. I'm just living under a bridge. No, that's so funny. I just
Hasn't
saw
left
Tom
his
at a
living
wedding.
room in 8 months.
That's right. That's right. No, I am working over in Corning for a place called Explore Steuben, which the basic way to describe it is I do video for them and help promote tourism for the county, essentially.
Which is awesome because the tourism here is so great.
It's fantastic. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to do here.
Yes.
And a lot of people don't know about it. People who live here don't know about it. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't know there was a bison ranch.
Oh
in
my God, I
Savona.
just went country line dancing there. It is so much fun.
Why wouldn't
I
she?
love that. Shut up. And by the way, their food is banging. I don't mind eating bison.
I mean, if you like fish.
No.
I'm just kidding.
God. But their food is so good. Did you try their food there?
I've not.
Oh my
I've
God.
only been there just to shoot a couple things, but they're always like building the next thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like trying to catch up. We're like, we want to show off everything you can do, but it's like, oh yeah, this is ready, but now this isn't ready, and we're like, oh. But they're like, they've got this giant venue now, which looks really cool.
It's gorgeous.
But they're still doing those like little. I don't know what they're officially called. I call them safari tours. Where you just
yeah.
like you get to drive around their property.
So they still have that.
to my knowledge.
Yes,
Uh,
I
'cause
saw. I was
since
there.
last I've been there.
I was there 2 Tuesdays ago, and the signs are still there.
Okay,
Yeah.
because I think I've done that once forever ago.
Yeah. Well, you need to come on Tuesday and come shoot me country line dancing.
Oh,
you do
good.
it every Tuesday?
No, but
Yeah, it's a new thing.
If you're gonna be there, I will boot scoot and boogie for you.
Except maybe on a day that it's not 128 degrees, because I guess air conditioning's at a premium, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, it's just I don't know about that. It's that you're moving so much; it's very hot, and there's
Yeah.
a lot of people that show up. Like it's aces to elbows in there. It's
Also a
jam-packed.
country song.
Yeah. Now, also with the work thing, this is something that I know, and I don't remember if you told me this or not, or if it was a mutual friend that told us. You moved.
I did. I texted you.
Okay. I couldn't
Where are
remember
you
if
now?
I am now living on Denison on those like.
Okay, I
don't
don't need
say
the exact
exactly.
address.
Yeah, let me give you my. Denison's a long street.
Okay, good point.
But no, I'm like walking distance, which is great from
work.
from work. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that is nice.
Yeah,
So
so come
are you-
rob me
Yep, clearly.
if you get it.
Just start getting through every residence on Denison.
Benji
and
will
see-
take you down.
You'll get to, well, after you pass the police station, you'll eventually get to Quinn.
That's right.
Wait, speaking of walking, are you still mall walking?
No.
Oh,
God no.
that's such a good. I think I wanted to start it. But
I think I did that like 3 times.
You were our old
In the
soul
winter.
in a young man's body.
I did a lot of park walking over by the what is it called, the Thorn Street Park.
yes.
They got a good loop there. I did a lot of walking there, and now there's a nice park right by the river that I go there. Do a lot of walking there.
Okay.
But I have a in my apartment has its own gym, so Sometimes I do that on hot days like today.
We are narrowing down his address, ladies and gentlemen. Denison Parkway, apartments with
cut that out.
gyms.
This would be my job, but it's not anymore, so I'm going to need to...
I'll believe it. I'll believe it.
Left or right side of the street. Let's get it out of the way.
Also, wait, I want
Underneath.
Oh, nice.
After this, I need to ask where you are living because now I'm just so nosy and curious. Wait, you mentioned Benji, so you still have your dog Benji?
Benji's alive.
And well?
And well.
All right, good.
He's good. He's just chilling at home right now. Yeah, he's loving the new place. He's like, he used to like pee a lot inside my old place, and then now he hasn't done it once. So I think he was just like, let's get out. He's trying to force me out, I think.
Yeah, but he was helping you. Speaking of dogs, because we're getting your updates. You probably didn't know this. Do you know I have 9 dogs?
I saw there was a pug collection going on.
Yeah.
I believe, but I did not know you were up to 9.
I told him he's like a lesbian.
I've said it many times. I am a lesbian. But I mean, I am the walking definition of it. But that being said, yeah, so Ginger, so we ended up getting, we haven't seen you or talked to you, so we
and obviously 3 years.
3 years, yeah,
That's
clearly.
fine.
We thought it was
It's been a
like,
while.
4 or 5 weeks ago you were here. It's been 3 years.
It kind of feels like it.
So Ginger, we got. She's 2 now. So she was solo. Then a friend of mine called and said, "Hey, can you help us rescue another dog?" We've told this story before, and it was a really little young, like a puggle, a pug, and then probably a little bit of beagle in there or Jack Russell something. It's like I think it's a jug. That's what it is because he's got a lot of energy. Well, those 2 decided that they weren't going to wait for Dad to get Ginger into the vet to get spayed and. 7 babies.
Okay.
So 9 weeks old. Let me tell you, it's you walk into my house, it is a tornado of tan.
I keep asking Scott, are you going to get rid of any of them? Just, friends or whatever. People have asked about these dogs. And that's the answer I get every time.
I mean, it's...
I get it, though. It's tough.
It is.
I don't know how, breeders do it, because I'd get too attached to every one of them.
And that's the
Right.
problem. Everyone's got a name. 6059 has everyone. She knows everyone. I don't know every one of them. She does.
That's your problem. Once you named him, because we got one of our dogs from a breeder, and he was not named. I think once you name him, you're keeping him.
So what I'm saying is, would you like 2?
I think it's what you should have done is you should have named them after the 4-digit phone numbers that of the most popular caller or the people who text you all the time.
The one that's a real prick. Name it 3386. He's still the official ball buster of the show. We were back and forth all day on the show today. He's great.
That's a great idea, though, Quinn. I love that.
That's actually really funny.
Because I think breeders name them colors or something not that's to get attached to them. I think.
Yes.
So it's just the phone numbers would be great.
Yeah,
that would be funny.
Now, you said we on the apartment. Did you mean you and Benji, or is there a female in your life?
No, that's me and Benji.
Okay.
Just us 2 hanging out.
I wasn't sure. Are you still? Are you
Here
cruising?
it goes.
I have to ask.
Just diving in.
Are you on the dating apps? Are you? I remember I always was trying to swipe
I'm not
for
on
you.
the dating apps. I'm not actually. I don't like the dating apps.
Okay.
That's become actually something we talked about on the show. That's become more of a thing now. For the longest, in Allie's age group, and it was extraordinarily popular. And I think for most everyone for a period of time. And now it seems to be peeling away from that. People are getting sick of being ghosted. They're getting sick of getting, fake promoting of people that once they get together, it's just, people are moving past it. It's not as hot as it was even 5 years ago.
But it makes it harder to date, I think.
No, you just go back to the way it was. You go places. And people
speak
want to
to
connect.
people is what you need to do.
Yes.
Quit saying it. Quit. That's exactly what the story that we said was. People want that connection, that interpersonal connection, and they were never getting it on the dating apps.
What are you doing? Picking up chicks at the park?
There's not a bad place to do it. At least, because back in the day, it was a lot of times the nightlife didn't just necessarily have to be a bar, but a lot of times it ended up being, that was the way that a lot of people met, whether you were going dancing with your girls and you meet Mr. Wonderful or whatever. Now it's, park's probably a good.
Look at you. Now you're Mr. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wait, and I heard one other thing, too, that I've been dying to talk about. I heard that you were a flower girl or a...
Excuse me, flower man.
Oh, I'm sorry. You were a flower
Official title.
man? Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, so this was a wedding where there were no kids, requested no kids, which I think is a great idea.
Me
Sure.
Because I think kids don't even want to be at weddings.
Right. They want to spin around.
They just want to go like have fun and play, and a wedding is not a place for that, I don't think. But so I had this funny idea a long time ago before that couple even got engaged. We saw back when I deleted TikTok, but back when I had TikTok on, I saw a video of again a kidless wedding, and they had just their friend do something funny as a flower person.
Yeah.
And I was like, why don't I do that for your wedding if you guys ever get married? And then they got engaged, and then the wedding was 2 weeks ago.
And you were the
Nice.
flower man.
And I was me and another guy, me and another gentleman, another friend of theirs that I met on the day. We kind of have similar vibes. I think that's why they picked both of us.
Oh, so when
to do
you're
it.
not available, they can call him and get the same thing. That's nice.
But apparently,
Right
apparently
to
we
that.
crushed it.
Yeah.
People were laughing.
That's
so
what
that
I
was
want
the
to know.
goal.
What did you do? Did you?
I have to. Speaking of Tom, I need him to tell me when he's done editing it because he shot the video for that wedding, and I blacked out. I don't remember anything
Oh,
that I
God,
did
okay.
down the aisle. Not through alcohol means, but I mean,
well, and it
I
was
didn't
hot.
even drink that day. But
Super. It could have been hot. I'm like, did you pass
no.
out? I'm like, well, my
I keep
God.
trying to adjust my glasses, but I'm not wearing them.
Okay, how high are you? Jesus, I'm blacking out. I'm adjusting my non-existent glasses. Jesus, no mushrooms before the podcast, please.
I remember walking out there doing a couple funny things and then just getting out of the way for the actual wedding to proceed.
Yes.
But I actually don't remember exactly what we did because I wasn't even paying attention to what the person next to me was doing.
Okay, so you guys were doing two different things. You didn't coordinate right before saying like,
No,
okay,
we winged it.
Okay, good.
It was one.
The only way to do it.
Yeah, I love this. And then the other thing that I wanted to mention about that wedding that you were in, this is crazy. So they actually got married like a year prior.
Yeah, I didn't find that out till that day.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was wondering.
This was a well-kept secret.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wow.
Here's what I was gathering, and I don't want to speak too much about this without like the person's permission. But was it they were doing like a wedding a year ago because the grandparents were the grandparents sick or something?
Correct.
Or?
That's my understanding.
Okay, did
Okay.
they announce this to everyone at the wedding at like the reception? And
At the
go,
reception.
Hey, everybody, just need to be honest with you.
Wait, they even went through the wedding and no one knew.
Oh, correct.
Oh man,
Yeah.
okay.
And
it
then-
was wild.
At the reception. So what was that? Okay, I mean, obviously they did it for a very personal, nice reason, it sounds like.
And I think that's why no one was like upset. I wasn't upset about it. I
What
was
was
like,
the
oh, cool.
reaction? Where did people go like, oh my?
I think there was a couple of that. I did it. I was like, what? And then like as the reason, as she kept explaining the reasoning, I was like, oh okay, I'm not upset about it. But it's so funny because I shot their engagement photos and they were already married.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
I
good.
had no clue.
And now you can never trust either of them
That's
again.
right.
Yeah.
I
That's
said to
right.
her, I feel bamboozled.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. I'm having dinner with them tonight. I get to yell at them.
I mean, you
today.
feel bamboozled. I mean, I just came out as a lesbian within the past 10 minutes. So that's finally out.
I always
Finally?
knew.
Been keeping that one for a while.
Yeah. It's like one of those things like whenever your friend from high school comes out as gay, you're like, yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
Okay.
No shit.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
are you allowed to swear? I don't remember.
Yeah, oh yeah, we
Yeah,
can say it.
yeah,
Yeah,
Let's not
sure.
swear.
Yeah, just fuck
Of
it.
course.
You know, what was some of the other dumb shit we used to talk about, Quinn?
But
when
you
we
know
were-
what? I was gonna open the podcast with this. There was a time, especially when Allie was off, where Scott and I would talk to each other like this.
Yes, we've had requests for the filthy rich conversation.
I rode up here in my Bentley.
Oh wait a minute, you're out of practice because you
I know.
used
It's
to.
been I haven't done it since we did it
So
last.
let's see. We just purchased the island. Where did you go for vacation?
I was in Cancun.
Oh, how very peasant-like of you.
I know. I was just for charity.
What was the name of the house? You had a great name for it, and only rich people use this name for the house.
You know, I've had so many houses I don't even remember.
Oh, that's right. There's too many. How's the castle?
The castle's fantastic. Well, which one?
Are the renovations completed?
Oh, they've been completed and started over
Oh,
again.
that's great.
They just can't get it right.
Well,
now I'm talking like a game show host.
Right?
Who wants to be a millionaire?
It's funny though. People would occasionally laugh at that. They'd be like, "Oh, I remember when you and Quinn would do the Rich voice."
It was
Actually,
a
it
great
was
way
really,
to kill a segment.
it was. It really was more. I remember Quinn doing the Rich voice. I'd always just jump in because I can't not. Did you know that I've mastered Trump now, and it's terrifyingly good?
Oh
It
no.
is so good. All right, go ahead.
Oh no.
Well, you see, the problem here is Quinn's here. He's a beautiful guy. Number one, great guy, banging guy. I mean, maybe he'll come, maybe he won't, maybe he will, maybe he won't, probably won't, but maybe he will, but then sometimes, and then when Quinn comes in and Allie's over there, the two of them have sat together for so long. Remember, hell of a guy, great, gracious, wonderful guy, but the thing about it is he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
Can you talk about
Fact.
his big, beautiful hair?
Oh.
What?
Talk about his big, beautiful hair.
Oh, I wanted to tell you about the big, beautiful bill and the big hair. And look at that. You see, now listen, my big, beautiful bill, one of a kind, only one. Remember this guy right here. Remember, if it was Biden, it would not have happened. He wouldn't have remembered. It would have been auto-penned. But listen, this is where I got the idea from. This guy right here, this big, beautiful hair. Go ahead, wave that up there. I'll give you a key to the. Now, see, when I start laughing, I lose the impression.
Is that not so good, Quinn?
It's terrifying.
I hate it. In a good way. In a good way.
One of a kind, man. One of a kind.
So this past weekend we had an event, and I was a different shift from Scott. The first thing that somebody said when I walked up was, Scott did his Trump impression on stage. I'm like, classic.
Couldn't help it. Okay, so first of
no,
all,
I love that you did that.
You put me on stage with what was it, the Elmira Orchestra, and really it was only a few members that were there. Yeah, it was only a few members that were there, but the guy I'm standing right behind is the tuba player. A tuba and a bagpipes. That's it. It's game over.
Wait, there was bagpipes?
No, but if you put bagpipes near me
okay.
or a tuba, it's game over. It's like watching guys on high heels doing a race. I can't not do something with this.
Yes.
So, I'm on mic and I get the guy to blow the tuba and give the ceremonial, excuse me.
Where's Allie for this part?
Right, and we're dying. This guy's good. But then all of a sudden, so the fine gentlemen that were there from the Vietnam Veterans War Museum, I'm like, well, they deserve a tribute. And I'm like, these guys right over here, one of a kind. I'm telling you, it's incredible. Never forgotten. You're a beautiful group of people. Hey, by the way, I signed the big, beautiful bill with a big pen. Huge, massive. It was incredible. And nobody turned an eye or batted an eye.
I did hear that our boss wasn't happy.
Oh. She's,
right.
she hates him anyway. That's why.
Oh,
so
yeah,
it wouldn't
well,
have mattered,
That's really
I mean, the
reason.
absurdity of the impression is what makes it. But anyway, that was just for you.
Exactly. The one thing I noticed, you used to always wear like a ski cap, and you're not wearing one today.
Yeah, where'd that go?
Yes.
Where did that go?
Washed your hair for this episode?
Yeah, I had to look. I put the contacts in. I took the hat off.
Yeah, I know. You can't find those glasses.
I know. I keep reaching for them.
Space cadet.
Put in a counter of how many times.
See, this is where now he's trying to be a thirst trap for our listeners. They're all going to be like, oh,
I'm really not.
Quinn's almost,
really not.
I almost called him Finn, my dog's
Finn.
name. So because I've got
Quinn,
Finn and Quinn. Quinn's always been a thirst trap for the ladies.
that's true.
It's
That's
disgusting,
true.
man.
Look at him. He's like, I'm going to turn red.
It's a good thing I'm a lesbian and don't swing that way, but it's I'm telling you.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but you've always had that little bit of game, and I don't know if you knew that or not.
I know, it's like this sly secret. Like I think most
You
guys
got
are
a
like
swagger.
this. Right. And I think most guys are like this. They don't even realize that girls are drooling after them. And they're just like over here like, eh.
I'm like, why?
Why not?
It's that curly hair.
Yeah, that
I'm
does it.
telling you.
Yeah.
Oh, see,
That's
you
what
gotta
it is.
wave the hair. Anything else we need an update on?
Yeah,
Because-
what else is going on?
Oh God.
Wait, I do have to ask you this.
Yes.
What's with your new job? What's your favorite thing that you've done? Because
That
we
we've
know.
done?
Wait, what?
That we've done?
Yeah.
Oh God. Well, there's a lot of new stuff going on. We're doing a podcast ourselves,
Oh,
and we're doing a
cross promote.
Yeah, watch the. It's called What the FLX.
I like
I
that.
love
That's
that.
pretty good.
Believe we got away with a WTF joke in there.
I
Yeah,
love
that's
this.
good.
But yeah, it's called What the FLX. Check it out. It's also we have it in video format as well, but like we built like a little studio in our office, so it's like very sit down, conversational.
I love that.
It's like really kind of the direction I wanted us to go back when we started this one.
Right. Well, that company probably pays for equipment. We're still using webcams.
As we
like it
finish
is.
off our last podcast
Hey,
with
but I hear
Allie.
you have a new boss, so maybe you can do some nudging. Since I was here, at least.
Yeah, we do. I mean, maybe Scott. Actually, that's a good idea. And Scott and I have a business trip, so maybe we can bring that up on our business.
Did you
trip.
hear we're sharing a hotel room together?
Oh,
Well,
Does that surprise you?
not really.
it's like 50-50 weird.
Yes.
It's like,
Yes.
I get it. Probably a little
Well,
weird, but it's like, it's you guys.
We don't really know
Yes,
that we
that's
are.
what we said.
So we don't really know that we are, but for those
But
that
we want to.
But there's a reason. Hold on a second. Remember, I'm a lesbian. Well, that joke doesn't work here. So here's the thing: is
I was the one that suggested it.
well, right, but the thing about it is our company has in other get-togethers that we were not invited to, and let me tell you, this may be the one and only that we get invited to. But they've had a tendency to put people with people they don't know in rooms. So, like, say you didn't know Chuck, you and Chuck suddenly are in a room together. I think the
It's so
mission
weird.
is
It's so weird.
it's meant to be a team building kind of get to know you experience.
Yeah. So let me get to know the smell of your butthole.
Yeah, the fact that you fart in your sleep at 3 a.m. to wake me up is not how I want to get to know you.
No.
And because I can't imagine it's individual rooms for everybody. But that's why Allie and I said, well, we'll take one for the team and just stay in the same room, and then we could do a podcast from there too.
Oh, that's fun.
That could
was
be a
Scott's
lot of
girlfriend's
fun.
idea, and I thought that was a great idea.
Oh, yes.
So we talked about it on the show, and as far as staying in a room with Scott, you're right. It might seem weird to most, like to two coworkers who are of opposite sex staying in a room, but I'm like, we literally spend so much time together.
Yeah, there's nothing there.
There's nothing to hide. There's nothing there. Yes, exactly. Like I have never even thought of any attraction to him whatsoever.
Have you guys hit 18 years yet?
How about
19?
20?
20
It'll be
years?
20
19 and 20.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
well,
remember
it'll
it was
be
16 when I started.
Yeah,
or something like
it'll
that.
be
so.
20 years May of next year.
So, and honestly, and I'm not just saying this, but Quinn, I could do the same with you. I could be in the same room with you. I don't think about you in that way.
Right.
I mean, you're an
Let me tell
attractive
you
guy.
how I'm
It
not
would still be
attracted.
weird though.
Let me
And
tell-
but like not in like that kind of way. It would still just be weird, like especially like now that
wouldn't
I
be
haven't
weird for
spoken
me.
to you in 2 years, and it's suddenly like, hi.
Yeah.
See, I think
Whereas
It
you
would
and
be
I'd
so
be watching,
awkward.
we'd be watching some like sci-fi, marathon on
Nerd.
television.
I'd
If
watch
Quinn and I
Star
were together,
Trek.
we'd miss every company meeting
my
because we'd be
God.
like on the 5th Iron Man movie, going,
That's right.
"Whoa!"
See, and I think that it would be fine. I would absolutely be like, so Quinn, do you want to put on masks? And then,
I don't want to share a room
And
with
I'm
you
just
anymore.
wearing like the COVID mask.
Oh my God! Okay, you just gave me an idea. If we do get to share a room and do a podcast from there, can we both do them in masks?
yes, yes.
You have to.
That would be
And
hilarious.
So on top of that, we talked about it on the show. Scott's girlfriend gives us the idea for the podcast. He already asked her, hey, would this be okay? She's cool with it.
She
Right.
knows,
So
you know.
I asked my significant other, and he was like, and that's the response I got. So I was like, okay.
I mean, I said right out on the show, I said, I know what I'm in for. I'm driving us down the 3 hours. It's going to be farting, fart jokes, Allie making me do something stupid while I'm driving for social media.
Yes.
And then we're going to stop for a pee break. And then it's going to be the whole cycle again.
iced
Farting, fart
coffee.
jokes, another social
Absolutely.
media thing. And then we'll arrive. So how is this not a bad thing? you
I know. I think it'd be a great idea, but I have to respect this. So I don't think we're going to be staying in the same room, unfortunately.
Oh, you've actually made that official call now, because that was, you didn't really quite come right out and say that.
Well, once he said,
Hey,
I was
I
like-
helped him save a brisket on the show this morning.
That's true.
He owes me.
that's true. So give me your girlfriend to sleep in the room so I don't have to sleep
It
with
is
Chuck.
a weird transition.
Yeah, I know, right? Okay, so we got that. And then any other updates? Oh, wait. Did you say favorite thing? Oh, yeah, you said your podcast. Okay.
Oh, I know. I have a question for you. When you were still working here,
Yes.
you took like 2 weeks off to go to back home
The Netherlands?
to Dutch.
Where did you go? Okay,
Dutchland.
Netherlands.
Oh wow, that was a while ago.
So yeah, any traveling that you've done or are planning to do?
That's so funny. My parents and I were just discussing yesterday going back to the Netherlands later this year. We're
no
still
kidding.
ironing out the details. My brother is going to go Let me just give you all my brother's
Information,
vacation
yeah.
plans.
Yeah.
But he's going a little sooner than us. He's getting into Formula One and all that. He's been into that, and that's happening, I guess, around Amsterdam there. So he's going to be hanging out with a buddy and meeting family, and then we're going to go a little later for my grandma's birthday in November, probably.
She's still going.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, how
That's
old is
incredible.
'Cause,
That's
like,
great.
It's like
Wasn't she 99 when you went?
she's 90. Oh God. Cut this. I think she's 94.
You do
or
realize
she's turning 94.
You do realize nothing is getting cut.
Also, I don't think your grandma's listening to the show.
She's definitely not now.
No, but that's really cool, actually.
You're like,
That-
she can't even hear
Yeah.
or see. No, I'm
oh
just
my
kidding.
God. Okay, cut that. But all right, so you're planning some travel again,
Yeah.
but there hasn't really been much else. You haven't gone anywhere.
No, I mean everything's so damn expensive. You know, it's like you can't go anywhere.
Well, your
it's hard
brother's
to
going
save money even.
Your brother's going.
Well, let me
over-
tell you, the tariffs will eventually trail off, and I'll make sure you can get out of here
Somebody
pretty
tells
good.
me you're lying, Mr.
Well,
President.
maybe I am, maybe I'm not. Maybe
No,
I am.
I want the bombshell from Scott because I only say this, but he has a meeting in 9 minutes. So I have to. We gotta get.
This is
to-
unrelated to me.
Unrelated
This
to
Because I
is.
don't know what bombshell. It would be a bombshell for me on my own life.
I don't know
okay.
what's about to be said either.
Oh, well, I'll give it to you.
go.
And it's kind of amusing that Quinn's here because I know he was, and we're not going to talk about any of the details or any of it here, but he was kind of witness to some of this as it was unfolding. So there are some people that know the story. There are a lot of people that don't know, and I've specifically been very vague about some things that have happened in my personal life from about 2 years ago backwards, and it was a series of about 2 years that became extraordinarily stressful, and some situations had popped up. Now, prior to that, there were stressors, but there was a pretty specific 2-year span almost that was incredibly difficult, and a series of things that I had to go through, family related, and like I said, other than a few passing comments here and there that we've done on the show, there really wasn't a ton said, and I did that specifically. I have my reasons for not airing that all out.
You're like Kelly Clarkson with these vague updates.
Well, it's not going to be vague much longer because a friend of mine that I went to high school with, actually, I got to grab his book. A friend of mine I went to high school with, his name is Trunis Goggins, and he's a best-selling author.
Is he related to Walton?
Yeah, I was wondering.
just gonna ask that question.
No, looks nothing like them. Trunis, quite a bit tanner, if you know what I mean. So
You could have just said he's black.
he's
That
black.
is totally okay.
So anyway, Trunis has been. He's an author that he's written a number of books.
Sorry, I'm still on the tan thing.
Well, you know, I never change.
That's the real bombshell.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Trunis is black. He's
Does he
black.
know?
Didn't know.
You know, there it is. No, so he's a best-selling author, and he's done some books called The Series of, and there's been a few different ones thus far. Well, he asked me a while back, and then I just signed the papers on this in the past couple weeks. He is going to do a series, a book on this. It's the series of families affected by alcoholism, and my story is going to be one of the chapters in this book. And like I said, papers have been signed on this. The story
Which
will
means you get a cut, right?
You're damn right.
Okay, good.
68 cents on the dollar, he told me.
Fabulous.
But
he'll make 68 cents.
he was telling yes, I will make 68 cents. But the story is going to come out in written form. I was very flattered because I'm not an author, but he wants the story.
But a
Here we go.
story-
Yeah, I know you're not.
yeah, that's true.
But a storyteller.
But yeah, and that's it. And he said, because I was asking him questions, I'm like, look, I've never written, I don't have to write a whole book. I have to write my story, and then it becomes part of 7 other storytellers in this specific book. So the story will get told. It is
Are you going to tell the whole thing, or are you telling just a piece of it?
Well, no, it's more or less it's going to be a light version of the story up until the events that took place around 2002 to about
2002.
Or I'm sorry, to 2022.
Okay.
To about 2000. I'm going to go. It was really 2022 all the way through 2023 where things came to a very intense head. But the reasons behind some of these things, without being disrespectful to anyone, that's not the case whatsoever. But these are stories. Now, in this book that's coming up, there are going to be stories of people that are alcoholics or were addicts, how they beat their disease and where they are now. I mean, everyone's heard the expression, once an alcoholic, always an alcoholic, or, that's something you have to live with. But they'll say, what work they did, that'll be one. In mine, it comes down to essentially being a father of 2 young kids. I mean, yes, I still have an older daughter, but she's in her, 20s. But a father of, 2 young kids who has primary custody of them, and what it's like and what it's been like to adjust to that. He goes, your story's interesting. And he goes, a lot of times, and this is his words, he goes, a lot of times single dads get shit on. And he goes, your story's really interesting because the mentality of the world is well, mom is always the right choice, and that is kind of an old theory. There was up until a certain point in history where that was an almost automatic. If you had a dick, you weren't getting custody unless somebody was in prison. Things have changed, obviously. So yeah, I'm going to have the opportunity to literally be in a story. And here's the other fun part I found out. He was telling me there are already advanced copies of this, like over 19,000 that have been bought by, and I know you're going to laugh when I tell you the name, but I swear he said Vanessa Williams. And I believe she's in Australia because this is also going to help a rehabilitation center there, as well as some others. Some of the proceeds from the books. So there's been these pre-orderings that have been happening for this, and even crazier, we're going to be in a Times Square billboard. So
whoa,
it's this is a pretty big deal. I've never done it.
Have you started writing it?
No, and actually, he told me a really interesting way to do it. He goes, well, let me tell you what I do. And I'm like, you're an author. You've written a lot of books, In fact, which one? Yeah, this is the 4 P's of you. Prick. No, and he goes, I sit down. Now, he uses ChatGPT, but what he does...
To write a book?
Well, yes, but hear me out on why, how he uses it.
I'm like, I'm skeptical.
He uses the tool like this. He told me the way, what you do is you tell ChatGPT the format you want it in, and then you literally sit there and talk like you would to a webcam. You tell your story. Like, you have to say things like, I, as in I'm the first person. Because I told him, I said, the biggest writing I do is like radio station promos. Like, I give away $1,000. I'm like, I'll write a promo for that. I've never written, a 20-page chapter of something or whatever. He said, no, use it to essentially record, use things like, I for, so it doesn't get confused and put you in the third person. And then at the end, you say, now format that into this specific way that he had said. About 15 minutes later, it puts it together. You can still edit. You can do things like that. So essentially, I get to do what my strength is, shockingly. I get to talk the story through.
Yap it up.
As opposed to, typing the whole thing, because I think that would be very difficult. That's where I would have to sit there and go, I don't think I have it in me to sit down to pen and paper or actually type it. So... There you go.
It's going to be awesome.
I had never expected this to happen, but yeah, I guess.
And this is somebody you went to high school with?
Yeah, so we went to high school together. I hadn't, like a lot of people in high school, you lose contact. He went in the military for a while, did his thing, and then got out. And I didn't really realize he was an author. And then, once we found out, then we somehow reconnected. And
probably social media, right?
Yeah, that was a big part of it eventually. And, once he started, hearing it as a as a friend, and I was telling him away from any sort of a business type dealing or anything like that. He's like, this is a pretty intense story, and it needs to get told on a bigger level. And like I said, I deliberately have not, with the exception of occasional small things, I've never told the story to the audience.
And now Scott will make money off of you finding out the details.
Yeah, well, it's but no, it goes for a greater good. It's because I even told Trueness, I said I'm not doing this for any sort of royalties whatsoever. I said that you're
that
telling,
don't hurt.
Right?
I think that you're actually going to get something very therapeutic out of it as well.
I think so.
Like
Sure.
talking it out or writing it down. I bet you that's going to be a different effect on it that you never expected.
Oh, I think so.
In a good way.
Yes,
so.
yeah, especially pausing and reflecting on it too, because I think that's something that just we as a society don't do that
Right.
often. We're just always in survival mode and movement mode. So if you are pausing and reflecting really on each section, little by little, then you're going to go, oh my gosh, and go, I made it out alive.
And that's what it is. It's funny. He goes, I need a one sentence promotional, like a tease, if you will. And we were laughing a little bit. I go, is it too much to say I knew I had enough and this is when I had to make the change? And he goes, nope, that'll sell it. So,
there you go.
And it was interesting because and the last little piece to this that I'll mention for now, because obviously the work has to start on this, is the therapeutic part, yes, but I've also, and to your point, Allie, by natural timing, this has been a few years. I'm in a different place today than where I was when I was in the midst of the things that were taking place.
Yes.
And that's, it's a higher elevation view, because now I also see things clearer that I was too close to.
Yeah.
At the time that I was embroiled in all of it.
Yeah.
I'm talking from day one up until things hit their head and around 2022.
I think people will also walk away learning lessons, even if they're not in an addiction story, but just relationships in general, that somebody might be even in like a verbally abusive relationship or physically abusive or manipulative or whatever that's happening. And then to see your story of coming out on the other end, I think that also when I hear somebody else's story, I always think, okay, how can it relate to my life? And how can this, how is this parallel? And I think people will take that even if it's not the exact same as your road.
Oh, sure. There's something, everybody can get anything out of anybody's story.
Right.
And it's how you take it in and how you use it. So Quinn, you were able to be part of that big update on that where
thank you
all
for
this
sharing it
just
with us.
came together. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm scared. I'm not going to lie.
No, of course.
But
I mean, it's very personal.
Yeah.
So that's then you're sharing that with the world, essentially.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
not a
This
unless you. I mean, it's funny too, because as someone who is live all the time, you would think that it's not that scary, but because it's so personal, it's probably got that heightened element to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the vulnerability here is definitely probably the most. And even though I know that we're always like talking about our lives, but it's mainly like the good stuff and the funny stuff. So whenever there is the deep down, to be honest with you, that's the stuff that I feel like we're always hiding.
Yeah.
And the audience doesn't always know what really is going on the inside. So even though we do the Not for Air podcast, but that still ends up being so fun. So I think that you're gonna have listeners who are gonna connect with you, and you might even find new friends, new listeners that will love you even more because of your vulnerability.
Well, it'll be a story. We'll wait for it to happen. Should be out later in the year.
Yes.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Quinn, I'm so glad you stopped in.
My God, yeah. What a nice catch up.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yes, I'm glad.
I'll have to come back and not make it 2 years before.
Okay, yeah, I was going to say, last time you said you were coming back, it was 2.5 years ago.
Yeah, I know.
So,
gosh.
But I'm glad the listeners were the ones that we just kept getting messages, and I was like, man, it paid off. I knew it would, but it paid off.
yeah. And it's awesome just to see your face.
Of course. Yeah, no, it's great to see you guys.
Awesome. All right. Well, everybody have a great one. Scott, have a great meeting.
Oh, thanks.
Bye.
Well, that was fun. Wasn't that fun? That was fun. Do us a favor, will you? Subscribe. Share the Scott and Allie Not for Air podcast. Touch our buttons. We know you want to.